Hi, it's Steph, and one more portrait video for you today. It's yet another of the Sky Portrait of the Week challenges. This is number 4 for me. I think there's been 6 in total, but I missed the first 2, and I think there's only 2 more left, which will be a big shame when they stop. So if you've not seen any, check out their Facebook page. Artist of the Week on Facebook, because they've got all the live streams for you to watch. This week's sitter was the very brilliant Noel Fielding. Always good to see Noel. And the artist was Kimberly Klaus. And as I've done with all my other ones, I've decided not to paint along during the live stream, which you can do. The main reason I've not done that is just because it's been great listening to the sitter, hearing what they've got to say. You sort of get to know them a little bit, watching them for 4 hours, and also being able to see an artist work in progress, because it's very rare you get to see that. So this week, you got to see Kimberly doing her version of Noel, which was great, and so I have done my version working with various sort of screenshots that I've taken. As with all my others, it is drawn with ink pen, a bit of white pen, acrylic, and I've stuck it onto this collagey background, which people always ask me about. And I've said lots on previous videos about this way of working, and some subjects and some sitters really lend themselves to this way of working. Noel is one of those people, and sometimes I really struggle to know exactly what bits and pieces to put in for particular people. With Noel it was quite easy. I had to raid my sort of Alice in Wonderland books. I've got lots of them. I'm obsessed with Alice in Wonderland, and they'd so fit with Noel. He's got a bit of an obsession with flamingos, so that little illustration just had to go in. And I've also used some old dressmaking pattern as well. It's a bit fiddly to draw onto, but it's got this lovely sepia colour, and it's a little bit of a nod to sort of his fashion sense, really. And as far as sort of composition goes, again, I have put sort of time lapse of me putting this whole thing together, so you do get to see me fiddling about with the collage also. And again, I've said this before, I try not to plan it too much, but I am a little bit conscious of where certain things go. I knew that this needed to be fairly out the way because I wanted it to be fairly visible. This lovely little poem down here, I thought that was quite a nice little visual, so I've kept that sort of out the way of the main bulk of the portrait. And also I love leaving sort of empty white spaces as well, and I know sometimes they can interfere a little bit with the end product, but that's just a little sort of happy accident or distraction. I try not to plan that. If it works, great. If it doesn't, hey ho. And the last thing I'll say before I get on to the speeded up version of me doing this from start to finish is going back to the live stream. It's always interesting sort of what the sitter and the artist talk about. Noel obviously well into his art as well, and he was sat there watching his portrait being painted by Kimberly, and he was sort of loving how loose she was initially. And Noel said that when he does portraits he always starts with the eyes, and I do as well, and he was saying that he knows of other people that work very differently. I get asked this a lot with portraits, and I just don't think there's any right or wrong way. You just need a way that you feel confident, a way to get into doing the portrait. And interestingly, you'll see in a second when I do stop talking, I do start with the eyes, but I was a little bit different with this one because I was sort of struggling a little bit round here. So I ended up sort of going from this eye and then working my way down here before I ended up back up here. And it's, for me, it's just a little bit of a journey around the face. And yeah, don't kind of stick to one way, work whichever way you feel best. And that is me done. I think it's Claire Boulding this week, so no idea as far as collage for Claire Boulding, but we'll see. We'll sit and watch her on Sunday and see what comes. So I will now let you see me drawing Noel start to finish in about kind of 4 minutes, and I'll see you again soon. All right then, bye bye.